Welcome to the PHNX Coyotes podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah Merrill here with Steve Peters and Craig Morgan as always, but today we are joined by a very special guest, the newest member of the PHNX family, Josh Doan, our NIL athlete. Josh, welcome to the PHNX Coyotes show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're actually not the first Doan in the studio, actually. Gracie, your sister, and Theo, your French bulldog, have both been in the studio before you. So how does it feel that you got replaced by a French bulldog by your parents once you left the house?
I did. They actually did replace me with not like a normal French bulldog either. He's got a lot of issues. So I don't know if that's something after me or what. But
oh, man.
You actually take Theo on campus sometimes, don't you?
Yeah. Theo comes down. I think he's come 3 or 4 times down to campus this year, and he loves it. He gets so much attention and distracts every athlete, and when he comes to the gym and stuff like that. So he's pretty fun to have around.
Just don't shed on the chairs.
Yeah, I had to bring in like the Dyson vacuum to vacuum up after those dogs.
So yeah, you're the third Doan in studio. We've had Dad on the show, and now
you've been on our audio show before, but first time in the studio.
So when you say he's part of the PHNX team, that does not mean he's like I don't have to worry about my job or anything.
Well, ALLCITY First-Team is what it would be called.
Okay, because I
know you have
if
some
I'm on the way
questions.
out with a younger, I get it, but just give me a little heads up.
I know you have some questions about it, Petey.
About what?
About the NIL.
I know. Well, first of all, I get that he's signing NIL. And I'm like, what? Is that crypto? Like, I swear, that's what I thought first. It was crypto. Then I thought it was like national, international, lacrosse. Like, what? Like, I didn't know what an NIL was. So when you sign an NIL, is it a big deal for you? Is that kind of cool?
Yeah, it's really cool. I don't know what it stands for, what it means. So
we're in the same boat. There you go, Josh.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I know
image and likeness, okay?
I do know that there is now a Josh Doan t-shirt in the PHNX Locker.
There is.
And if you haven't seen it, it's fire. Go get it. Homegrown, which kind of says, and that's, I want to talk about homegrown first. I'm going to go with that first, Josh. I saw you play at the ice end when you were little, and you were always Shane Doan's son. Right?
Yeah.
That was Shane Doan's kid. You got Doan on your jersey, Shane Doan's kid. Are we finally at the point now? He no longer plays. He is retired. He has an office job. You're now the star player in the state of Arizona. Is he finally Josh Doan's dad?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he'll always be Shane. So
yeah.
I don't know. I bet he's heard, are you Josh's dad by now?
We refer to him as that now.
Yeah, he's Josh's dad.
You guys gave it to him
That's
a couple
what I'm
times
going
for it. So.
Oh, man.
On that note, though, and we talked about this in the story that I just wrote on you, there's been a lot of talk about having to follow in your dad's footsteps, and he's a big name. He's an icon in this city. But you talked to, he had an unbelievable quote talking about how he asked you to forge your own path, but also really influenced you so you don't want to stray too far from that path. I wonder if I can just ask you about that again. What it was like growing up as Shane Doan's kid and trying to forge your own path.
Yeah, I think college was kind of the first split that we made going to the USHL instead of, which is funny, I was with Kamloops, that's who on my right, so it would have been exactly his path. So I think that was one of the big leading factors into going to Chicago and then coming here. But I think off the ice, I think I try and follow him as much as possible, and then on the ice, I take bits and pieces of what he's given me, and then I try and create my own kind of style of play.
You had to learn to play a different style of play because you didn't have his size for most of your life.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't 6'2", 220 when I was 14. So I had to think around the box there, and we'd get in arguments all the time because he'd try and help me out through things when I was growing up, and I was 14. I was 5'3", 115 pounds. You don't get it. It's like we're not the same player, same like development route. So it was tough and also beneficial having him. Kind of, because there was some moments where he was there to kind of help me through that stage where it sucked being a smaller player that couldn't really do much, and then having him just be there and kind of help me grow into who I am now as a player was big.
So you had gone to Chicago. You're back playing at Arizona State, back in Arizona. You just wrapped up your first season as a Sun Devil. What is your overall takeaway from the season? How was it? Was there anything that surprised you about playing college hockey? What are your kind of thoughts on the season and how it went?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think there's a lot of expectation heading to college hockey. It's it's put up on a pedestal. It's college hockey, and that's everyone's kind of dream, is to get to college hockey at one point. So there's a lot of expectations when you go into it, and I thought it was pretty much what we all kind of expected as a group of freshmen. We kind of talked about before the year on what we thought was going to be the pace of play and how it all would turn out. And I think our first game was versus UMass Lowell, and they welcome you into college hockey at a pretty big rate with how physical and fast they play. So that game, I think, helped us all settle down into college hockey. But I loved it. I think it was everything you thought it would be. So I'm excited for next year.
There's a lot of talk with Chicago Steel about their development process. Ryan Hardy was there as the GM for a while, and now with the Maple Leafs. But to me, they're the top program in the USHL, and a big part of that is that first year making sure that you're developing off the ice and getting your body set, not necessarily playing as much to get you ready. What would you say about that development process and how it prepared you for college hockey?
Yeah, I think they do an amazing job. And on first, just being a good teammate. Where your first year in Chicago, there's a lot of guys that don't play. In my first year, I didn't play a ton. There were nights where you play 5 minutes a night, and you just have to be a good teammate, which is it just helps you, because there's going to be nights where you're not good, and you got to let someone else kind of step up and play over you, which was just understanding that it's part of the game. And then the next year they gave you an opportunity to kind of be your own player and take over, and they do a really good job, and they're having success again this year, where they're second in the league right now and just clinched a bye in the first round. So I think I thank them for kind of everything they did for me and helped me become who I am today.
Okay, so we talked college hockey, and for people that haven't seen it, college hockey is incredibly fast and incredibly physical. And the one advantage you get, at least at Oceanside, is how close you could get to the game. And you're like, oh my God, like these guys are going to kill each other. Like it's incredibly fast and it's physical. So save that. Everybody's excited to get into the new building. Yeah. Can't wait. What is next for Josh Doan for training? The NCAA just wrapped up their championship last weekend. Are you taking a few weeks off? Are you back on the ice? Are you in the gym? What's your summer look like for prepping for next fall?
Yeah, we've been working out now we got a week off once our season was officially over, and then we're back into our kind of workout build strength mode, where Leah, our trainer at ASU, she's all over me for getting just leg strength and power. It's a fast and physical game, and to kind of take your game to the next level, you got to be stronger and quicker. But I will have a week off once finals come around, where you're not allowed to have any workouts. And then once that's over, we'll get right back into it. I'll train down at ASU. I'll skate 2 or 3 times a week, depending on the ice that they can get us. And then it's just all summer through there. And I think the plan is to end up going up to Canada at one point and training up there with Greg Kazoris, who me and my dad have been training with since I was little. And hopefully we can get something going to where next year's a successful year.
Training in Canada over the summer is a little bit better than being here over the summer. So I don't blame you. I also spend my summers in Canada, or used to. So the thing about college hockey, though, is that you can be there 1 year, you can be there 4 years. There's kind of whatever works for you. So everyone kind of wants to know how long you're going to be at ASU, and you probably don't have an exact answer, but how will you know when you feel like you're fully developed and you're ready to make the jump either to the Coyotes or to the Roadrunners or whatever that might be?
Yeah, I kind of similar. My dad and I talked to it in Chicago. I didn't want to leave Chicago till I felt that I had dominated and been a top player in the league, that every night I had success. And it's pretty similar to, I don't want to move on from a league too early before you've really shown me you're capable of that league and being a player that everyone has to watch out for when you're on the ice. But I think Chicago made it easier where we won my last year, so it was kind of easy to say goodbye to that. I think I still want to win here. I think it'd be awesome to be a part of a group that wins a national championship at ASU for hockey, which would be I think monumental for the program. So it's up in the air on whether or not next year goes the way we want it to, or it doesn't go at all the way we want. It's such a broad question that there's so many different answers to that I don't like. I've given many different answers to that question, but I think that's the best way I can put it right there.
You talked about, coming back to ASU, and obviously next season that means moving into a really sweet arena, which I know you guys have seen a bunch of. I think you were just telling me that you just toured it recently to see the additions. Just what does it mean to the team to be moving in there? I know you guys are all thankful for the time you had at Oceanside, but let's all be honest here. This is a major upgrade, and it's really going to help the program.
Yeah, and it goes just even down to the little things. Where this year you would drive to the gym, which is underneath the Sun Devil Stadium. And then you have to drive again after your workout to the rink. And then the rink's off campus. You got to drive back home and then go to class. So there's just a lot. It just makes everything so much easier to just go to the rink, change right there into your workout stuff. You got to wear street clothes in and out of the rink instead of having to wear your gym clothes. And then you can walk to your classes from the rink now. Or if you have a class at 12 o'clock, you just get off the ice and walk rather than having to drive home, grab your stuff, and then go. So it just goes down to the little things that make a huge difference in everyone's day-to-day life that I think we're most looking forward to.
What are your thoughts on having the Coyotes right there now? I mean, nobody saw this coming, but I mean, you'll get to watch them practice. I assume you'll go to some games since it's right on campus.
Yeah, no, we'll for sure be going to games. I think for us, it's awesome. It has to be an NHL-ready rink. It has to be up to standard for all the technology, everything. So I think we'll get more benefit than anyone else having them around. So, and then you get to have those guys that come in and play. You get to watch most elite NHL players take pregame skating practice and then hopefully watch a couple games, and you're right on top of it, so you can see how good and how fast the game really is.
I will say this, because as we've talked about here before, I have connections with other college programs. My dad coached at Bemidji State. Very small, very cold college city. I played and went to college in North Dakota, Grand Forks, and if you've probably been to Grand Forks, again, very cold. It's not fair. Like, you guys, can you imagine a recruiting trip? Oh yeah, come down to Tempe. This is where we play. This is our building. This is our city. Like it's not fair. Like the recruiting's a slam dunk at ASU now. So that leads me to the next question. You got the new building. You clearly have the best weather in college hockey, clearly. Sickest uniforms. You have like 15 or 20. More uniforms than the rest of the league put together. Yeah. How is this team looking going into next season?
Oh, I'm excited. This next year it'll be a fun year. And I like the guys we have coming back with Copperwood. He had 40 plus points, and to get 40 points in college hockey, you're doing something right. It's not just a random year. The guys we're bringing in, we got Kraz returning as a goalie. We all trust him. And then Semtenfelter, another young goalie who's my age and a guy that's younger, so he's going to be here for a while. But it's almost as if we have one guy next year that has to leave, which is Kuzmantzis, who he'll be a fifth year, so he doesn't have a choice to come back anymore, but he'll be a huge part next year. But other than that, every guy's got an option to return.
Awesome.
So it's
so you're building something.
There's
That's
something
awesome.
there that it's almost like next year we want to win, but then that group is so young that it's like you still got the same core coming back, which is I don't think a lot of teams can really say heading into next year.
That's awesome. And I think for fans of ASU, may not necessarily be hockey fans that are basketball fans, football fans, hang your hat on the ASU team next year. Follow this team, watch this team. Yeah. One, it's going to be an unbelievable show. They're live in that building. There's a student section on bleachers. It's phenomenal. Yeah. And they're going to win some games. I think it's going to be so exciting to have that group on campus. Can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think the biggest thing is we start off next year. We play Duluth, and then Bemidji and Bemidji.
Oh, really?
So depending on how that trip goes, it could be.
Stop at my mom's for dinner.
Yeah.
The schedule just came out today. We just released. And after that, I think you guys only have 10 road games the rest of the season after that trip. Unbelievable home schedule of 24 games.
Yeah.
So speaking of growth, the presence of ASU hockey, period, is just another sort of notch in the growth of hockey in Arizona. Yeah. We were just talking about Matthew Nyes before, whether he's going back to school. He's probably going back to school for another year. But what's your sense of, and you've seen it for a while now, where Arizona hockey was and where it is now in terms of its development and growth? Yeah,
it's crazy. I think for guys like Matthew and I that were kind of a part of that first initial Phoenix Arizona Coyotes transition to growing the game here, we were me and him were both born 6 years after they came here, so kind of right in the wheelhouse of it growing, and it's grown so much since then. I think Austin Matthews obviously plays a huge role. He's trying to get 70 goals in the NHL, which I think is absurd. Like, you're doing that, you got the best goal scorer in the NHL right now is from Arizona, and kids, you don't miss that. And then having ASC where you can go watch a game whenever you really want, and for Matthew to have his success going to the Olympics and being a younger guy, I think it just shows that the kids in this area are getting better and stronger. And then I think I was reading the other day, our U16 program went to nationals. They won the Tier 1 Elite League, which I don't know if it's been done by an Arizona team ever. I know our group lost in the finals, so it's still growing, and I'm excited to see kind of the kids that they produce in the next couple of years here.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a big NHL fan? Like, do you follow along what's going on in the NHL?
Yeah. I'll follow. I'm like,
always there, loaded question.
Yeah, I'm since I was younger, kind of been a stat nerd in hockey and just
and
baseball.
If you use the word nerd, because we used to talk about you when you were a kid.
Yeah,
you were a hockey nerd.
Yeah,
you knew player stats, who went where, what guy would fit with this guy. Like, you thought the game very, very cerebrally. But do you have time now to watch pros? Like, you're so busy with your schedule. Can you still watch?
Yeah, I think we watched yesterday. We watched the Capitals play Boston. It's my roommates are all hockey nerds too, which helps. So if you're not doing something, some guy will text in our group chat, "Hey, Matthews just scored 2 goals in the first period," and we'll go watch and see if he can get 4 again or something like that. It's like just to see. But we watch as much hockey as we can. Like, whether we're doing homework or just making dinner, it's on our TV in our living room. So it's still a huge part of our life.
So when Shane starts giving us stats, whether it's hockey or baseball, he loves to talk fantasy baseball.
Baseball might be him.
Baseball's,
is he getting that information from you, or is he getting it legitimately?
It's hockey. He'll double check. He'll make some comments. I'm just like, I don't think you're right there. Like, if you're confident, you go with it. But no, we like to bounce stuff off each other. We argue about things. We have a bet with each other about Ovechkin and his goals and how many he'll end up with, and it's just little things like that it's always stuff where we're arguing and debating players, and it's pretty fun.
Who do you have then making the Stanley Cup final this year and maybe winning it all? Who are your picks?
There's so many teams this year that are so good. Like, Tampa Bay will always be there. They're a 3 seed right now. They're a wild card team right now. So if you're Florida and Carolina, you're not really comfortable going and playing them. Toronto's going to end up having to play Boston or Tampa Bay in the first round. I'm a big Nicholas Backstrom and Ovechkin and Capitals fan, so I'm not really looking forward to them potentially playing Florida in the first round right now. But then at the same time, you talk about all the strong teams in the East, and then there's Colorado, and they're the best team in the NHL with who they got. And I think it was Coach Suter the other day said it in an interview that it's a waste of 8 days if you have to play Colorado in the first round. So there's so many teams that I'm looking forward to watching the playoffs.
I think there's more parity this year in the National Hockey League than I've ever seen it. In the East, has been set for almost 4 months.
Yeah.
But any one of those teams, and you talked about the Capitals, it's teams won before, star power, they can score. They're getting hot right now.
Oh, yeah.
If their goaltending picks up just a little bit, I don't know if I want to play them either.
No.
Like, the East is solid 1 through 8. It's going to be fun. Can't wait for playoff hockey. Can't wait.
Yeah.
So I got to ask one more question before we let you go here. It's a question that I've wanted answered for many years. Is your family home truly a cell phone dead spot, or
no kidding?
Is it just your dad?
It's almost me and my dad now. I'm gonna be honest. It's my mom and my sisters. You text them and you're getting a response, and unless, like, before you finish the text, it says read underneath it. I'm like, how are you aware that I was texting you? Carson actually might be worse than anyone. I'll send Carson a video or like just something on any social media, text or anything, and I'll go like a haha. 3 days later, I'm like, where are you even laughing at right now? I'm like,
so Doan's in their social media.
It's
technology.
Yeah, but my dad and Carson have to be the worst.
That's hilarious. Well, Josh.
So you didn't really answer the question, by the way, with the cell phone dead spot. So
yeah, no, it is.
No, he
It
took
is.
He took responsibility that the family is.
just don't read it.
I think me and my dad have the same plan, so we don't get cellular connection at our house. It's crazy, but it's great.
Oh man, well, Josh, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we'll have you back again. We're so excited to have you as part of the PHNX family, and can't wait for what's to come.
Thanks
So
for having
really
me.
exciting. And don't forget that if you want to get the Josh Doan shirt, you can get it on the PHNX Locker. PHNXLocker.com. You can get this Josh Doan homegrown shirt right now.
Not really? Okay.
Petey just making sounds.
Petey, you hopping over here?
PHNX Locker.
Yeah.
And also Craig has an article with more on Josh's NIL at gophnx.com. So sign up now, become a member at gophnx.com so you can read that story from Craig. He talked to Greg Powers. You talked to Shane too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're super excited to have Josh as part of the PHNX family. And it's our first NIL deal.
Buddy, that is the magic of television right there. Put up the graphic, move everybody around. That's unreal. Here I am.
You don't look like Josh.
You know what? Now that we know he's here and he's into the NHL, we've got lottery shows, we've got playoff shows, we've got draft shows. We got a guy we can ask for an opinion.
And not just that. Later this month, on April 29th, it's the last Coyotes home game, last game of the season, last game at Gila River Arena. Save the date, everyone, because we will be having a party bus.
A party bus?
That will go. I don't know if it's a party bus. It's a bus.
It will be
that
if we're on the bus.
Magic bus. Yeah.
If we're on the bus, it's a party bus.
Exactly. A bus to Gila River Arena, tickets to the game, a meet and greet with Josh. He'll sign stuff,
Yeah.
free food. I mean, save the date, April 29th. You're going to want to be there. Josh will be there.
Are we going?
So.
Are you and I going to be there?
course we're
Because he'll
going.
be at work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
So he'll be there already.
And should we finally use our seats in the press box that we've only used one time?
Yeah, we'll go up there.
Photo them and
We'll
take
go up
a
there.
photo.
We'll go up there.
I was here once this
I like
season.
party bus better, though. The idea of a
Well,
party bus? Hell yeah.
So Petey actually bought a bunch of stuff at Party City, like
I
right when the
did.
season started for the Coyotes' first win because they were on that horrible
And then we
losing
were at
streak.
home that night.
And then, when they finally won, I don't think we were in studio. So we have party
party stuff.
hats. We have
We do.
And I'm out, buddy.
So
Just
we'll bring
saying.
those. We'll make it a party bus. I don't know if it's a party bus, but we'll make it.
We will make it a party bus.
So.
Wakey, wakey.
Love
wakey.
that. The magic
Sean.
PHNX bus.
Oh, boy.
Love it.
Wow.
Love it.
Can't wait.
Man,
It's
yeah.
all, and that'll signify a lot of things. Last game in Gila River and the last game for this miserably long season. If that's not something to celebrate,
Amen to that, buddy.
I don't know what is.
And-
It's like the pre-lottery ball party.
I'm gonna miss my 100-mile round trip commutes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's your favorite
Yeah.
part.
I won't miss that.
Well,
Nope.
only 10 games remaining in the NHL season, and the NBA season just wrapped up, and that means the playoffs are
Playoffs.
approaching, and the NBA playoffs being next level basketball, so you can get ready for all the action by betting the play-in tournament with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can bet $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets. Instantly, you clinch a win no matter what. Existing customers can bet on NBA hoops with same-game parlays. Plus, for each day of the play-in, get a risk-free bet up to $10 if your same-game parlay doesn't hit. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code PHNX. Bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game during the play-in tournament and get $150 in free bets instantly. That's promo code PHNX at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details.
Ready for playoffs?
I am actually.
Hockey, basketball. I'm in.
It's the best time of year when playoffs is going
It
on.
is.
Yep.
And the NBA playoffs are so meaningful this year.
Yes.
For this city.
Yes.
So meaningful.
Yep.
And luckily the Suns are, the Coyotes are out. They won't be a distraction anymore.
Yep.
The Suns will be in it, and we'll be following along in coverage from the PHNX Suns show as well. Gerald writes awesome content on the Suns, so you'll want to follow along with that. Before we head out, just to wrap things up, Nathan Smith is in town finally, and
Signed a
the
2-year
Coyotes.
ELC.
Yep. So that's a second ELC. Do you think they're gonna burn all the first year of both Jack
Yes.
McBain
Yeah, that's
and
the plan. Both
Nathan
of those
Smith?
guys are going to play. I think Nathan Smith will be in the lineup on Tuesday
Wow.
against the Devils. And Jack McBain, Andre told me, if he doesn't play on this next road trip on the weekend to Calgary and Vancouver, and Calgary, he'll definitely be in the lineup the next week when they come home. So both these guys are going to play.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting. We just taught college hockey for a little while, and now we get to see what that talent looks like on the ice here in Arizona.
Yeah,
Exciting.
rough one for Minnesota State too. And Nathan Smith, they had a 1-0 lead going into third period. One period away from the national
was that the
championship.
team Matthew Nyes was on too? That we just
No, they were in the semifinals.
Okay. Minnesota State. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
He was a Golden Gopher.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah. It's
hopefully ASU hockey will be there.
I'm telling you, we talk about the building all the time on this show about the Coyotes. Bullshit. Let's go see ASU play in that building. It is going to be unreal. That stadium, 5,000 seats for a college stadium with bleachers, with a student section. You've seen what the student section looks like at a basketball game. How crazy that, and a football game. Can you imagine?
It's gonna be bananas.
Is that a hockey
rink? It really
rink?
is.
I want to know from you guys who played, what do you think? And obviously, a few come to mind right off the top, but just the transition for those guys jumping from college to the NHL. What's that like for them, and what's going to be like
played
the
in
biggest
air
thing?
quotes, by the way, that we both played.
Yeah,
that's air quotes.
That's a
You
strong
played
verb for what we
hockey.
did.
What would that be like for them?
Yeah.
I think the biggest, and it's funny because I saw it firsthand when Clayton Keller went from a college tournament, and the next week he's playing in St. Louis for the Coyotes. He walked into the locker room and he looked like a little kid. Like physically, he was young, he was small, and you're like, uh-oh. Like, I think the surprise moment, one, it's big, it's physical, and most importantly, it's fast.
Mm-hmm.
The speed of the NHL game, even from the American League where they're all professional athletes, from that to the NHL, it is so fast. You have no time to make decisions. You don't have time to think. You don't have time to think what my next play is. College, you have that time. You have a little more time. It's really good athletes, really talented, skilled players. It's just not as fast. So I think that's going to be the aha moment. The first time the puck is on their stick and you go, oh, I don't have any room. And I think that's where you get kind of the wake-up call, like, I better go back to the drawing board. I have a long summer ahead of me.
10 games left. McBain and Smith playing, hopefully soon. Are they going to get a goal for the Coyotes before the season ends?
Wow.
I'm going to go. It depends. I'm going to go Nathan Smith, yes. He is going to score a goal with the Coyotes because he's going to get a lot of power play time. And they're going to put him with good players. You want to see what he can do. McBain's just a matter of, does he play enough? If he plays more than 6, if he plays 6, McBain plays 6 games, he will score a goal on the power play, net front.
You heard it here first.
Heard it here
if this
first.
happens,
McBain, power play goal.
I'm going to clip this.
Either a tip, a screen will go off his pants.
Here.
Yep, it's going to be a tip, or a puck will go off his pants and in. He'll be net front on the power
So
play.
like a Connor Garland goal.
Exactly.
Oh,
A body
man.
part. Okay.
Yes.
And then they could be added to the list of players on this team getting their first NHL goal this
Right.
season.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable number. Well, if they want to catch up to the speed of the game, maybe they should consider athletic greens in the morning just to, get your energy up. Get your energy up in the morning.
She is so good.
Our next partner I use every day. I know these two do as well. Athletic Greens is so easy to drink. You just put 1 scoop in the morning. You could do it while you're making your breakfast, making your coffee. Just make it a part of your daily routine in the morning. It's a no-brainer. It supports better sleep quality and recovery. It has over 7,000 5-star reviews. Costs less than $3 a day. Plus, you're investing in your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/coyotes. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/coyotes to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Anything else before we head out? The Devils tomorrow. This is one of those winnable games.
When we checked on the calendar, winnable.
But I don't know. They just
won in Dallas.
Yeah, they're...
Man. Dallas team. What the hell is wrong with that Dallas
I don't know
team?
what's with that Dallas team.
You got to win. You lose to Seattle?
Yeah. Seattle and New Jersey, and then you go on the road. Well, they won in Chicago, which is not that hard these days, but
That's the only race to watch in the West.
it is.
Vegas? I guess Vegas plays
LA,
Vegas
Dallas,
plays
Nashville, all those teams.
Vegas plays Vancouver twice.
Yeah,
If Vancouver can sweep them,
they have a chance.
they have a chance.
I think when we were talking to the Vancouver guys when they were here, they did the math and thought they could lose 1 game the rest of the way. They haven't lost one yet, so
They got the
That's
Yotes and
quite
they
a
got
tear.
Vegas twice.
yep.
Well,
It's going to be a race.
We'll be diving more into that in the playoff race and more around the NHL in our audio episode on Wednesday. So be sure to follow PHNX Coyotes wherever you get your podcast, subscribe, leave us a review there, and we'll be back here tomorrow night for the PHNX Coyotes post-game show after the Devils game on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. We're almost there. It's the final stretch, the
Can we
final
talk about
countdown.
arena again soon? Because we haven't done that in 12 hours.
Yeah.
In 12 hours.
Let's leave that alone.
Yeah,
for
there'll
now.
be plenty of arena stuff to come. So
Okay.
be sure to subscribe to PHNX Sports on YouTube so you never miss it. PHNX_Coyotes on Twitter as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Super excited to have Josh Doan part of the PHNX family. Be sure to head over to the PHNX Locker to grab that shirt now before they're gone. Everyone, thanks so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.